I want to tell you something that I don't share lightly. There was a moment in my leadership journey where I thought I had done everything right. I was wrong, completely wrong. And that moment is the reason I do the work that I do today. I'm Liz Murray. Welcome to Take 5 with me. This is the final week of May, and I want to bring everything we've been talking about this month together. Standards, boundaries, the conversations leaders avoid, and what all of it means for the culture you're building, whether you realize you're building it or not. But I want to start somewhere really personal to me because I think the most useful thing I can give you today is not a framework. It's not the truth about what it actually took for me to understand this. I spent years doing what most driven leaders do, attending the courses, reading the books, listening to every leadership guru I could, and it helped. I was ticking boxes. I built a real sense of confidence and certainty in how I was leading and how I was handling things. And then one day, I had a rude awakening. I needed a team member, someone I had deep respect for, to have an important conversation with someone else. He refused, and I did what my training had told me to do. I brought what I thought was the right energy. I stood my ground. I asserted myself louder, more forcefully. He turned his back on me and he just walked away. In that moment, I was furious. I thought I'd done everything right. I thought I had set the boundary. I thought his refusal meant that I needed to performance manage him. When I look back on that moment now, I can barely recognize the leader I was in it because the issue was never that he refused. The issue was that I had confused leadership with control. I thought being a good leader meant having everything done my way, asserting authority when I was challenged, and ticking the boxes my training had given me. I thought my leadership identity was about being the boss. That could not have been further from the truth. I wish I could tell you everything shifted immediately after that moment, but it didn't. The change took time to find the right support, time to sit with the uncomfortable question of what was actually going wrong. And I kept wondering why I was so exhausted at the end of every day. It was because the leadership style I had adopted was completely incongruent with who I actually am. The box ticking, the controlling, the asserting, none of it was really me, and my body knew it, even when my mind was still convinced I was on the right track. My team members' behaviour that day was not insubordination. It was a reflection of the culture I had quietly been creating through micromanaging, through control, through a version of leadership that looked right on paper and felt wrong in practice. It wasn't until I started working with an executive coach and doing some deep work on emotional intelligence that I fully understood where I had gone wrong. Over time, I started laying different foundations. I stopped leading from the outside in, trying to match a model of leadership that someone else had built. And I started leading from the inside out, from my values, my natural way of being with other people, my genuine curiosity about what my team was capable of. I threaded the mission, vision, and values through everything, not just at the start of the year, through daily interactions, through regular conversations, and through the way that I was showing up every single week. I let go of the need to control, and I learned how to ask better questions, how to be genuinely present for the people that I was leading. And something remarkable happened. The performance issues that had felt so heavy and so hard to address became easier, not because the standards had dropped, because I had spent so much time setting and clarifying those standards and recognizing people when they met them. That following up when they didn't felt neutral. It felt like part of an ongoing conversation rather than a confrontation. The culture shifted, not because I forced it, but because I finally understood that culture is not where you declare. It's what you do consistently every day in the small moments that leaders often overlook. This is what everything we've talked about this month comes down to. Week 1, we looked at why leaders avoid hard conversations. And the answer, more often than not, is that they haven't done the proactive work that makes those conversations feel safe and feel natural. In week 2, we looked at the cost of soft standards, what happens to your best people when the standard isn't held, and how disengagement sets in quietly from the top down. In week 3, we reframed boundaries entirely, not as walls you put up when something goes wrong, but standards you name out loud before they do. And this week, it all connects to culture because your culture is your values statement. It's not your mission on the wall, it's the sum of every standard you've held or let go, every conversation you've had or avoided, and every moment you showed up clearly or left things unsaid. So here's the question I want to leave you with. Look at your team right now. The energy in the room, the way people communicate with each other, the standards they hold themselves to, and the conversations that happen and the ones that don't. What is it telling you? Your team's behavior is not random. It's a mirror and it reflects your leadership, not as you intend it, but as you have been practicing it. That's not a criticism. It's the most useful diagnostic tool you have. And the moment you can see it clearly, everything becomes clearer and available to you. You get your choice back. You can decide what you want the culture to be, and you can start leading in a way that actually creates it. That's the work. Not more theory, not more boxes to tick, and not a leadership persona that doesn't fit who you are. Just clarity, consistency, and the courage to have the conversations that matter before they become conversations you've been avoiding for 6 weeks. If this month has landed for you, I'd love for you to share it with a leader in your life who needs to hear it. And if you're ready to do this work on a deeper level, Be Exceptional is my online course built specifically for leaders who are done with the box ticking and ready to lead in a way that they actually think fits with who they are. The link is in the description below. Thanks for taking 5 with me this month. I'll see you in June.